Hello, everyone. I'm Khadija, and I am a academic peer coach with the Learning Center. And today I'll be presenting on the final game plan, a guide to making a finals study schedule. So just talking a little bit about final season. Final season can definitely be stressful, but there are ways that you can alleviate the stress. And one of them is by having a plan in place to make sure you can approach the work that you're going to be confronted with during the week. So some of the ways that you can be prepared for final season is creating a game plan. Having a plan for final exams as well as projects can help you mitigate stress and ensure your effectiveness when you are approaching these projects and exams. Also, focusing on being healthy. Maintaining your healthy habits during final season is just as important as maintaining them during the school year. This includes your nutrition, exercise regimen, and rest is really important for your short-term and long-term health. And lastly, and perhaps most surprisingly, have fun, plan for fun. Incorporate breaks where you can do what you love with people that you love. Make sure that you maintain that level of sociality that you created during the school year, during final season to help alleviate some stress. So saying all this, making a plan is easier said than done. So let's go through it step by step. Step one, write it out. Take time to write out all of the dates for your exams and deadlines for your projects and presentations. This can be done using a calendar, or if you're more of a list person, you be sure to utilize that. Step two, plan backwards from these deadlines. Once you have specific dates of when things are due or when you have to turn things in, plan backwards on what you should do on a daily basis by setting up tasks that you can do day by day. Lastly, set actionable goals. Set goals that you can act upon and don't leave anything up by chance. For example, planning to do an entire project in one day without having steps that you have to do in that project is not setting yourself up for success. Instead, break the project down into increments and have certain days where you accomplish each part of the project so that by the time that the deadline comes, you've concluded with each of these individual tasks. Things to consider when you're making a final schedule. As you could probably have learned at WashU, not all classes are created equal. Some classes require more time and efforts to prepare for, despite being the same amount of credits. For example, you might find yourself putting in more time into your Gen Chem class in your college writing class outside of the class itself. This is completely normal, and take this into account when you're making your schedule. Another thing to account for is the actual nature of the final. You have to prepare for the final in accordance to the way that you're being tested. For example, you could have a project, an exam, or a presentation. Additionally, these can be cumulative. They could only be on the latest material. And also some of them can weigh more than others, ranging from 20% and even up to 40% of your final grade. This will influence how much time and effort you put into preparing for the final. Lastly, think about your past performance in the class. If you performed well throughout the semester and feel confident that you can maintain this during the final, you might focus on classes that you struggled in more through the semester and allocating more time and energy into those classes. I want to reiterate that setting realistic goals is very important. Be honest with yourself of what you can do with limited time. For example, if you're a person who knows that you can only study for up to 6 hours a day, don't plan to study for 12 hours a day. This will set you behind and create additional stress if you plan to study 6 hours a day and start earlier, you can be more successful in the end. An effective method to utilize is intervals. Dividing up your studying can make it so that you don't feel as if you're doing the same monotonous task constantly. For example, a lot of people like to study in 2-hour blocks and split it with miscellaneous tasks such as working out, eating, doing various chores around the house. This will help you so that you accumulate that study time during the day and you have time to retain the knowledge without putting in so much active labor. Another effective method is spaced repetition. If you find you are dealing with a class that has a large amount of volume of content, spaced repetition will help you with retention. This helps engage your long-term memory, and then you can apply the knowledge. If you want more information on spaced repetition, check out Peer Coach's Sophia's session on spaced practice. Link will be included in the chat. An important part of your final game plan is wellness. Exam season doesn't mean that you should neglect your wellness. Taking care of yourself is essential to your well-being and combating burnout. Of course, this is easier said than done, so let's give you some concrete tips that you can act upon. Food. Make sure you're hitting your nutritional goals when you have a heavy workload. Even if you didn't adopt it during the school year, consider meal prepping and stocking up on fresh foods and snacks to keep you fueled. This will make it so that you don't feel as drained with the effort that you're putting in, as well as protects your immune system and overall well-being during final season. Exercise and sleep. Moderate exercise is an important part of wellness. If you already had an exercise routine before final season, try to maintain that. Or you can adapt your exercise routine. This can be done by utilizing HIIT workouts or other online options so you don't have to dedicate as much time going to the gym. Also, sleep is an important part of your performance and overall health. I recognize that sometimes there's a culture of getting less sleep, making it so that you're actually more effective, but there is a way to maintain your sleep schedule and still be effective. Set a goal to be asleep by a certain time each night, and then utilize your hours during the day accordingly. Lastly, engage in your friends and family. Take time to see the people that you care about. Daily sociality is important during stressful times. This can be done with a simple phone call with a loved one or grab dinner with your friends for a boost. You can even combine some of these. You can opt to eat with a friend, or you can opt to engage in a workout video with your friend. So get creative with how you maintain your wellness during final season. Here, I'll go through examples of some final exam plans. Student A has a general chemistry exam on December 22nd, a calculus exam on December 16th, a college writing paper on December 23rd, and a final project for Africana Studies due on December 19th. They plan to cram for both of their exams concurrently, averaging 9 hours a day during reading days, and pull on either the day before their paper is due. They work alone, don't make time for working out or socializing, and order out every other night. Will this student be successful? Why or why not? It's most likely that the student won't be successful in their efforts because they aren't utilizing spaced repetition, and they're neglecting their wellness, and they're not catching up on their sleep or meeting their nutritional goals. Example 2, student B has the same projects and exams. They plan to start studying a week before their exams concurrently, but neglect their projects until the night before and end up pulling all-nighters for their projects with less than optimal results. They work out with friends throughout reading week, alternate eating out and cooking, and deviate from their normal exercise routine. Will they be successful? Why or why not? While the student is still doing better than student A, it's still unlikely that they will be successful. They might be successful in 2 classes, but they're neglecting their other 2 classes in favor of the first 2 exams that they have, when there's a way to balance all 4 classes and be successful in each while maintaining their wellness routine. Example 3, student C has the same set of circumstances. Instead, they approach it by making a list of topics they're unsure of for Gen Chem and Calculus. When reading week begins, they spend their days studying and working on their projects. They spend extra time on their math and science courses because they carry the most weight. They study alone, but work with friends, as well as grab dinner with friends afterward. They opt to work out at home every day and keep snacks with them while studying. Will they likely be successful? Why or why not? This student will most likely be successful in their final game plan. This is because they are allocating their energy where it is most needed, and they're maintaining their wellness by working with their friends when they can and working alone when they need to concentrate a bit more. And they're maintaining their socialization as well as exercise routine. All of these factors will likely add to the student's success. Thank you for attending this workshop, and thank you for the Learning Center for allowing me to present. I will now take any questions.